Gigafactory Texas rumors, or are they leaks, or did I hear it from a little birdie, or did I dream it? I'm Brian. Welcome to my Tesla weekend. So yeah, I've got some notes with me, and again, who knows where they came from? Maybe I dreamed it all. But this is not non-public information. This is public information because I've learned it in public. And like a lot of things I learn in public, I don't know who I got it from. Yeah, I laugh, but it's no laughing matter. So at Giga Texas, there's an issue in that the construction crew creates dust and the production crew doesn't like dust. It's muddy inside all the time. So how do you remediate mud? Well, you could sweep. That's ineffective. You use those walk behinds, the little thing on the screen right now that's got, yeah, you can see water coming out, water getting picked back up. It's like they use at the supermarket. Perfect. That's what they do. But this place is, and I don't know if you know this, quite large. Bear's Workshop once asked me to compare it to the cruise ship he'd been on, which was the world's largest. You could park 17 of them sideways in the footprint of Giga Texas. It's a big place. It's about a mile long, 7/8 of a mile. That means if your scrubbers are all at one end, they got to get to the other end and get back before they get full, before they get dirty. You can't dump them on the line. If you get any of that muddy water out where you're making cars, it can cause a problem. It can cause people to be upset. It can cause the production guys to get muddy shoes while they're walking around a very clean car. You can't have that. And again, don't just take it from me, take it from me, because I can't tell you where to take it from. So the problem is, you gotta get a scrubber going. Now, wouldn't it be great if perhaps Tesla could engineer, I don't know, a scrubber, a walk behind Scrubby-Doo that filters the water and can keep going longer. So that's one thing that's interesting, I find. We learned at Investor Day that the construction crew is run, at least in part, by Tesla itself. That they don't just use Agile development to develop the cars, they use Agile in the construction. And they do use Agile in the construction. When the construction crew comes in the morning, they'll say, okay, today we're finished. Yesterday we did this, today nope, you know what? Today we're not, today we're doing something else. It's changed. Don't worry about that, we're on to the next thing. Sounds a little bit wasteful, but it's less wasteful than if you just keep going in the wrong direction. I did that the other day when I was clearing a hard drive. I got halfway through it and realized I need to be clearing it the other direction. So if you need to improve the line, make it more efficient, the Model Y line, would you believe that they are still making it more efficient even now? It's not a done deal. It's not a finished, it is a living, breathing organism. The factory, the line, the vehicle, they're all still constantly being iterated. And how do you reroute things in the factory? Well, if you've seen the factory, there was a video with, what's his name? He used to be the White House press secretary under Obama. Not the press secretary, the celebrity liaison. Kumar. Cal Penn went to Giga, Nevada, and he could see that all the little vehicles follow a magnetic tape line. So how do you redirect the entire line at Giga Texas? You shut it down, you move the magnetic tape on the floor, and you turn it back on, you're back in business. And all the elevators and whatnot, the vertical use of space, Tesla is very good at that. They've been at the leading edge. Tom Zhu doesn't like that. Tom Zhu, the magi of Shanghai, who made things run so smoothly there, doesn't always care for the use of vertical. He says, we want to keep it as flat and as straight as possible. Less elevations if possible, less bendy-doos if possible. What that means in Texas is you've got a lot of elevators, sometimes they break. Everything has a contingency plan. If an elevator goes down, you can just cut across the path that it was going to be going through anyway. There's always a contingency plan. So where are the offices? If you've seen the footage of Giga Texas, you see, well, there's some cubicles along the west side on the second floor. But if you look at them and you count them and you try and see how much space it is, that doesn't look like a headquarters. That doesn't even look like enough engineering space for the managers for each product, for each line, for each part of it. And the answer is mezzanines. Yes, all the offices are packed into the mezzanines as close to each part of the factory where the actual work is being done. And they do this in Shanghai. You can see footage, the actual plant managers in Shanghai. You could see that they've got a cubicle, a stand-up desk right next to the assembly line. So you put all the engineers right where all the work is being done, and they can holler out to Dave. They can see what he's doing. It works. And it's unique because if you look at the difference between what General Motors does, all their white collar folks are in the big ivory tower that's not even close to one of the plants. If they need to go down and see what's going on in the line, it's a commute. If it's 4 o'clock on a Friday and they need to see the line, they're waiting until Monday, which is not effective. It's not a good way to get it done. So at the General Assembly 1, which make the Model Y, we can see that it's still being improved upon. And what's the best thing to do when you've got an opportunity? Begin construction of General Assembly 2. Yes, that's underway. They've already started it, or so I've heard, in public. Oh, yes, that's something I have heard in public. I won't tell you which public, but it was a place. And if it's non-public information, I apologize, Mr. Musk, but, I heard it in public. I don't know. I've never signed an NDA. Bring me into a factory, let me sign one. I'd be happy to. So we've got General Assembly 2 underway. We've got the scrubber system working. We've got all the contingency pallet jacks and whatnot ready to move stuff around. One interesting problem they're having is all these devices need to be out of the way. All the backup stuff needs to be out of the way, but handy, but conveniently located, but charged, but not plugged in. Because some of the circuits are already at capacity, and if you trip a circuit that's running the line, you're gonna have a problem. So that's interesting. The thing we knew from Investor Day was that Tom Zhu made Shanghai nice and tidy. And he made, because if you look at just the drone footage, you can see how clean and organized the Shanghai factory is compared to Berlin, compared to Fremont for sure, compared to everywhere. When he got to Fremont, he set out to make it just as organized. I'm gonna pull up some footage. Hopefully it's recent enough. We'll see if we can actually see if it's organized or not. You can let me know in the comments if it looks more organized than in past months. So we will take a good look at that. And from someone else I heard that they are actively rebuilding the 4680 line to make it more efficient and safer. So those are some interesting things. And the last one, I don't know, maybe I'll mention it. I guess I will. What causes Tesla to sometimes stockpile castings outside? Now we've seen a lot of footage where there's stockpiles of castings inside, but sometimes they're outside too. And the answer is the line went down. That's the starting point. We start with the gigapress, with the mega castings. If you don't have mega castings, you can't build the car. So those run at a fixed speed, as high as they can, as efficiently as they can. And if you start seeing them stockpiling more and more outside, it means somewhere along the line itself went down, and they're going to start building up until that becomes the choke point once again, and they have got that all sorted out. So there's your answer. When you see an unexpected pile of them outside, it's only a few hundred. At a factory where they're making more than a few hundred a day, the line was down for less than a day, maybe half a day. It adds up quick. So that's all the leak and interesting stuff I've got there. I think we're gonna go ahead and wind it down. I do want to thank my patrons who get early access, bonus content, and had free experience in many cases, and make things like this whole trip possible. I would not have been able to hear all this very public but very quiet information had I not been on the road. So I thank you guys all for your decision to support the channel. It's what makes this whole thing work. What did I miss? What did I misunderstand? Leave it in them comments below. Subscribe if you haven't. It's free. I still don't charge for it. Let me hear your juicy wisdom, your blinding brilliance, all that good stuff. And stay tuned, stay juicy. And I can't wait to hear from you clever robots when I get out of this hot, hot sun of Texas.